It's been a long time since a wet vacuum cleaner has surprised me this much, because honestly, what can you really expect from a vacuum that just washes the floor? But how does it actually do it? For example, like this, or like this, using hot water, which means it will definitely clean greasy stains off the floor. I'm not even going to focus on the fact that for precise customization to the user's needs and cleaning conditions, whether you want a deeper clean or just a light surface cleaning, the vacuum can be adjusted through a smartphone app. And of course, the manufacturer hasn't forgotten about automatic hot water cleaning and warm air drying of the brush after cleaning, making maintenance as easy as possible. For this purpose, there is a docking station like this one where the vacuum charges and is stored. So this video is about a new approach to cleaning effective and as easy and simple for the user as possible. This is a review of the Dreame H15 Pro Heat Wet Vacuum Cleaner. Let's go. Let's get started. This is the package. Our vacuum cleaner comes in. This is the vacuum cleaner set. Additionally, the user gets an extra brush roller as a gift. There's also a manual, a cleaning solution, and a maintenance brush included. But in my opinion, the biggest gift Dreame has given its users is an extended, exclusive 3-year warranty specifically for this model. Only the Dreame H15 Pro Heat model comes with a 3-year warranty. And of course, a 3-year warranty is definitely something to be happy about. Obviously, this vacuum cleaner is something of a floor cleaning specialist, but the new model also features an intelligent automatic floor scraper. In English, it's even called a robo-arm, meaning a robotic arm, but I would describe it as a gentle grader or bulldozer bucket that operates automatically. They even say that its operation is controlled by artificial intelligence. When the vacuum moves forward, it lifts up. When the vacuum moves backward, it wipes the floor clean and almost dry, meaning it doesn't leave any wet streaks on the floor. The RGB sensor in the vacuum determines the level of dirt, and based on how dirty it is, adjusts the suction power. And this same sensor is used when the vacuum is being washed after cleaning, because of course after cleaning, the vacuum can wash and dry itself automatically. And with the help of the dirt sensor, it determines by itself whether it has cleaned the brush well enough. A very similar principle is used in Dreame's robot vacuums as well. You may have already heard about this in my previous reviews on this channel, and now this technology is also being used in wet vacuums with a self-cleaning function. You clean the floor with the vacuum, place it on the base, it cleans itself, and all that's left is drying the brush. The vacuum is ready, we can start cleaning. Here you can see our cleaning brush in its current condition. If you look closely, you notice several spots of visible clean brush which have built up over time on the bristles and handle. These marks make the brush look dirty and less effective for cleaning. To address this, we'll place the brush onto the vacuum's self-cleaning base. This base is designed to remove stubborn stains and thoroughly clean the brush using suction and internal scrubbing. Let's set the brush on the base and start the cleaning process. After it's finished, we'll check to see if the coffee stains and residue have been removed and if the brush looks clean and ready to use again. The automatic washing has finished, and now the automatic brush drying has started, but of course I want to see how well the vacuum cleaned it, so I'm interrupting the drying and just want to show you whether the vacuum managed to clean the brush. Well, look, there are absolutely no stains on it at all. Do you remember what it looked like just before washing? It's been completely cleaned of any coffee residue. The brush roller drying, probably for the first time among Dreame vacuums, doesn't just use warm air, but actually uses hot air at a temperature of 90 degrees. Somewhere here on the packaging, there's a tiny little icon indicating that the air is heated up to 90 degrees. Now, smart drying has started. Again, the vacuum told me that it will last about 30 minutes. Right now the brush is being dried, and I want to measure the temperature of the air around here, the air coming out from inside. My smartphone has a temperature sensor, so I'll be able to see right away what the temperature is here. Let me move the rubber band a bit and point my temperature sensor here. My fingers can feel that the air there is quite hot. Here I'm pointing the sensor. Approximately, of course with some loss, it shows 50 degrees Celsius, as you can see, more or less. Let me fix the rubber band, since I tucked it inside. Let's even try holding it like this. As you can see, the temperature is noticeable here as well, and it's approaching 50 degrees. And the phone warns that it's hot. You shouldn't touch it with your hands here. From a technical standpoint, it's interesting that it It has very good power up to 22,000 pascals. At the same time, the battery life hasn't suffered and maybe it's even improved. A bit later, I'll talk about this in detail. Of course, from the previous 14th series of these vacuum cleaners, it inherited the ability to lie flat on the floor, unfolding to 180 degrees. Take note, right here on the back of the tank, the maximum dirty water level is indicated for both standard use and when using it lying flat. So you need to keep an eye on the amount of dirty water. So this time the company has added something truly fantastic. And this model has probably become the most automated and robotic one among all the vacuum cleaners I've reviewed. Or maybe even in general. Just tell me, can every vacuum cleaner do this? And here is a practical application of this feature. For example, the vacuum cleaner can clean under the bed completely on its own. All you need to do is give it a command. It will drive in and come out by itself. And since the space under the bed is quite large, the vacuum cleaner can go in there its full length without any problems. And even need to clean from both sides, it's enough to just send the vacuum cleaner in from one side to do the cleaning. That's how it works. Small but pleasant improvements. For example, this little loop for removing the roller brush. As is usual with most of the latest Dreame vacuum models, the package includes an extra roller brush, an additional filter, cleaning solution, a fairly large bottle and a maintenance brush, which will come in handy for cleaning the dirty water tank. Sometimes debris and dust stick to it. Something interesting and important. I like the build quality and how well the parts of this vacuum fit together. I appreciated how precisely the removable components fit into place, the dirty and clean water tanks and the brush cover. One thing I noticed and found convenient is that the dirty water container has this kind of handle added. It kind of pushes the container out, making it easier to pour out the dirt and to take care of the container in general. It seems that previous models didn't have this handle. By the way, the filtration system here is multi-level. Several filters of different densities trap dirt of various sizes. And after cleaning, you can simply throw away even large particles into the trash and pour out the dirty water separately. This is quite nicely and cleverly thought out here. And this is what the vacuum cleaner looks like when it's placed on the self-cleaning base. Here on top you can see the display and the battery level. The display will also show the mode, and indicators for processes and possible errors will appear here as well. The base handles cleaning, drying, and charging. When you place it on the base, you can hear voice prompts. There are voice prompts for all processes. For example, when the water runs out, the mode changes, the brush gets dirty, and so on. Look here, it shows the dirty water tank's fill level. Earlier, I reviewed a model from the H15 series, and it didn't have this feature. And here the base has these rubber-like curtains to prevent splashing and to keep the hot air from blowing directly outside during drying. Right here at the bottom of the base, the water heater is installed. We can see the caution hot sign. Let me focus a bit on the brush design. This is how it opens together with the lid, and the robotic scraper, as I call it, can be removed. Here you can see the mechanism. It's clear how it works. When you remove the roller, you can see this red comb-like part. Thanks to it, hair, lint, and random threads from the floor never get stuck on the roller. The brush itself is quite special because it actually moves the entire vacuum cleaner using its wheels. The wheels here are motorized and they help push the vacuum cleaner forward and backward. And the brush even has a system that detects the vacuum cleaner's movement speed and controls the scraper's motions. All of this works with the help of another small wheel underneath. In fact, this wheel acts as a sensor, and in the smartphone app eyes, the vacuum cleaner has an app as a reminder, and we'll take a look at it soon. You can adjust the vacuum cleaner's movement speed. So it turns out that even a fairly heavy vacuum cleaner is actually quite easy to move across the floor. Let me say a few words about the control elements. There are several buttons on the vacuum cleaner here. The main control buttons are already quite a classic feature among Dreame vacuum cleaners. One button is responsible for starting and stopping cleaning. Another button switches modes, and yet another button activates the vacuum cleaner self-cleaning mode at the base after cleaning. A minor inconvenience, in my opinion, is that I sometimes press this button accidentally when I was, so to speak, handling the vacuum cleaner. But overall, in principle, it's not a big deal, because when the vacuum cleaner is not on the base, it won't start self-cleaning by itself, of course. And the button that's almost unnoticeable is the one for adjusting the volume of the voice prompts or turning the prompts off completely. This button is located at the back of the vacuum cleaner. You press it, turn off the voice prompts, high volume. And if you hold it down, it will connect to the network, connecting the vacuum cleaner to your smartphone. I like the app for controlling vacuum cleaners and robot vacuums from Dreame. It works on both Android and iPhone because it is supported through the same account on your devices. Or you can even add a family member and control the same vacuum cleaner from their device. On the main page of the plugin with our vacuum cleaner in the app, we can see the vacuum status, cleaning time, and battery level. There are also quick access buttons for smart self-cleaning and smart drying after use. A simple blue icon. It's a small but impressive breakthrough. And at the bottom here in the app, you have access to the wet cleaning settings, washing and drying settings, and additional options. You can also switch between the modes directly on the vacuum cleaner itself. There are 4 modes here: smart automatic mode, liquid suction mode, hot water washing, and personal mode. The personal mode can be adjusted flexibly, and these settings are only available through the app. The personal mode can be set to quiet, meaning it cleans well but makes less noise. It can also be set to turbo, which means higher power and more water supplied for cleaning. And the third option allows you to adjust the suction power and the level of moisture, and also add hot water cleaning. To be honest, what interests me most here is the hot water cleaning, because this feature hasn't been available in Dreame vacuums before, at least not in the ones I've reviewed. Self-cleaning settings in the app. You can turn off automatic drying after washing. Smart drying. The vacuum itself detects the level of moisture on the brush and determines the necessary drying time. And this is really interesting. The vacuum can adjust both its washing and drying automatically. Or you can choose standard or deep cleaning. And for drying, either super fast, which is noisier, or just fast, which takes 30 minutes. And this is a cool setting. When you place it on the base, washing and drying start automatically. I've come across this before, and I found this feature logical and convenient, but you can turn it off if you want. To prevent issues with residual water on the roller, there's automatic drying once a day, or you can even set up scheduled drying. You can also adjust the sensitivity of moisture detection on the roller yourself. And there's one more settings tab. This one is for adjusting the response speed and the intensity of the wheel movement assistance. since the wheels have a motor and the vacuum helps push itself forward and backward. Here there are 3 levels of wheel movement, agility, and settings for the scraper's movements, or, as I jokingly call it, the scoop. You can choose when this will work and when it won't. Another interesting feature in the app settings is the ability to monitor the wear and tear of accessories. This is the cleaning mode using hot water. The water is heating up now, and soon you'll be able to start cleaning with hot water. A truly crazy experiment with a bunch of unusual messes scattered all over the floor. Let's begin. It's even a bit boring. Everything went too smoothly. Hot water mode, and we turn on the vacuum cleaner. Hot water mode. The heating starts. We need to wait until it reaches 100%. About, well, I don't know, half a minute, roughly speaking. That's it. The vacuum cleaner is ready. We can start cleaning. I'll repeat, this is specifically cleaning with hot water. It shows that the floor is dirty, the indicator is orange. When it turns green, it means the floor is already clean. Now it has already turned green. This means the floor is completely clean from dirt. That's how it works. Well, that's it. Enough. Our experiment is coming to an end. Another important aspect of cleaning is that the vacuum cleaner can clean right up against the wall on both sides. That is, literally from all its working sides, it can clean right up against the wall, leaving no dust or dust streaks behind. This is very convenient and important. Either way, it works. And with this side too, I can clean right up close. I fully charged it. Now I'm going to test how long the vacuum can run on a single charge in the regular automatic mode. I'll also test approximately how much clean water is enough for cleaning. Right now I have a full tank and I'll see how long the dirty water tank lasts. I'll try to test all of this and tell you about it. So let's take the vacuum and start cleaning. I'll start with the bathroom. For the test, I decided that 50% will be enough. Now we'll keep cleaning until the battery reaches 50% and see how the other indicators on the vacuum look. That's it, 50%. I'm turning it off. Let's take a look. Here I have less than half a tank of water and less than half a tank of dirty water. Next I have about 1/5 of the clean water left. Let me remind you, this is with 50% of the vacuum's battery remaining. I stopped the cleaning timer and roughly speaking we have 22 minutes. Let's allow for a few seconds for the time it took me to stop the stopwatch. With one charge, the vacuum can clean for about an average of 44 to 45 minutes maybe. Right now it shows 50%, but everything will really depend on how you clean. Well, not so much how you clean, but rather how dirty the floor was. After all, in automatic mode, it will increase the power more often if the floor is very dirty. And of course, because of this, the battery may drain more quickly. I just did a quick test with intensive cleaning until the vacuum was completely discharged. Right now it has 0% left, and this is how much time I was able to clean with it on a single charge, specifically in intensive mode. As you know, in smart mode it cleans for about 44 to 45 minutes. I tested this in real life conditions, and regarding recharging, the vacuum cleaner takes about 4 hours to fully recharge. In short, a brief conclusion. What did I like most about this model, and what stands out the most during use? The main difference of this model, in my opinion, is cleaning the floor with hot water, genuinely hot water. This is definitely a game changer for this category of vacuum cleaners. And especially for me, from a technical standpoint, it's quite surprising that this is also a cordless vacuum cleaner, meaning the hot water for cleaning the floor is heated using the vacuum zone battery. Hot water is particularly effective for floors, for example, in the kitchen. Things often fall on the floor there while I'm cooking, then sometimes I step on it with my foot, and after that it can be quite hard to clean off. A vacuum cleaner like this, as practice has shown, really solves this problem very easily. Another truly innovative feature is this movable scraper, a rubber blade that wipes the floor of any remaining water. Very detailed settings for operation as well as for washing and drying the brush are also available specifically through Wi-Fi connection and configuring the vacuum cleaner via the app. Of course, it's not just about the settings, but also about tracking consumable materials in the app. At the very least, these are extremely useful features. And of course, there's also this feature of laying a vacuum cleaner flat, horizontally, as well as remote control from the app for cleaning under furniture. This is not only a practical feature that makes cleaning simpler and easier, but it's also a real factor of cool technological hype, which I think is important for any brand as well. I really like that with the Dreame H15 Pro Heat, you don't even have to bend down to clean under the bed, just place it on the floor and control it through the app. To me, that's quite an unexpected bit of creativity. Be sure to write in the comments what you think about this. And of course, I can't help but mention the downsides. Firstly, I personally felt that the vacuum cleaner was missing a separate container for cleaning solution in its design, as well as a setting on the vacuum itself to adjust the dosage of the cleaning solution or to turn off its use entirely, something similar to what was available in the H14 Dual model. And one more minor inconvenience that I noticed is the lack of a translation in the app at the time of filming this video,